Right now, as you listen to this, more than 1 million cars are being managed by a system that has no central office, no fleet manager, and no physical keys. Strangers are locating, unlocking, and driving away in other people's private vehicles, from family minivans to six-figure supercars. And the entire transaction is happening silently, mediated by an invisible technological empire. This is the central paradox of the peer-to-peer car-sharing economy. How can an ecosystem built on the seemingly fragile premise of lending your second most valuable asset to a complete stranger not just survive, but scale to a global enterprise? The answer isn't about trust in human nature. It's about a deeply engineered, multi-layered infrastructure of trust built from hardware, software, and artificial intelligence. By the end of this journey, you will understand the three core pillars of this invisible architecture. The universal key that fits every car, the artificial mind that judges every accident, and the digital guardians who watch over it all. This isn't just the story of a clever app. It's the blueprint for how technology is solving one of humanity's oldest problems: how to trust a stranger. It all begins with the most fundamental barrier: the physical key. For decades, the simple act of transferring a key from one person to another was the Achilles heel of any shared vehicle model. It demanded that two people be in the same place at the same time, a logistical nightmare of scheduling conflicts, inconvenient meeting spots, and the perpetual risk of lost or forgotten keys. The system was inefficient, frustrating, and fundamentally unscalable. To manage 1 million cars, you couldn't have 1 million key handoffs. The key itself had to be made obsolete. The solution came in the form of a small, discrete black box. This device, a piece of proprietary hardware, is the first layer of our invisible infrastructure. It's the digital handshake that initiates every single journey. Installed deep within the dashboard of a vehicle, this box is far more than a simple remote unlocking mechanism. It is, in essence, a universal translator for the language of cars. Think about the sheer complexity. A 2012 Ford Focus and a 2022 BMW iX speak entirely different electronic languages. Their internal computer systems, the Controller Area Network, or CAN bus, which manages everything from window controls to engine diagnostics, are unique. To create a one-size-fits-all solution, engineers had to build a device that could fluently speak hundreds of these distinct automotive dialects. This hardware taps directly into the car's electronic spine. It listens to the constant stream of data flowing through the vehicle and, with pinpoint precision, injects its own commands. When you, the renter, stand next to the car and tap Unlock on your smartphone, a highly encrypted signal travels from your phone to the cloud, is authenticated, and then relayed to this specific box in this specific car. The box receives the command and translates it into the native language of that vehicle, telling the car's own computer to unlock the doors. It's a seamless, sub-second process that feels like magic, but is in fact a masterpiece of reverse engineering and secure communication protocols. But this digital handshake does more than just open the door. The moment it grants access, it awakens the car's digital consciousness. The device begins to monitor a constant stream of telematics data. It knows the car's precise GPS location, its fuel level or battery charge, and its odometer reading. Every mile driven, every moment of the rental period, is logged and transmitted back to the central system, The car is no longer just a dumb object. It has become a node on a massive, connected network. This creates an unbroken chain of custody. The platform knows exactly who had the car, exactly when they had it, and exactly where it went. The ambiguity that once plagued rental transactions is vaporized by data. Did the renter really only drive 20 miles? The system knows. Did they return it with a full tank of gas? The system knows. The development of this hardware was a monumental undertaking. It had to be robust enough to function in the extreme heat of a Las Vegas summer and the bitter cold of a Chicago winter. It had to draw a minuscule amount of power to avoid draining the car's battery during long periods of inactivity. And most importantly, its security had to be impenetrable. A breach wouldn't just be a data leak. It would be a master key to thousands of physical vehicles. The encryption protecting this system is on par with that used by financial institutions, ensuring that the only person who can start the car is the one who is supposed to. This small box solved the problem of access. It eliminated the friction of the key exchange and laid the foundation for a truly scalable model. It transformed a static, personal asset into a dynamic, rentable unit on a global network. But unlocking the car is just the first step. The system has granted access, but it has also just started a clock. A clock that tracks every second, every mile. And what happens when that clock stops? And the car is damaged? That's when the real test of this engineered trust begins, moving from the physical world of hardware to the abstract realm of conflict and resolution. In any system involving 1 million moving vehicles, accidents are not a possibility. They are a statistical certainty. Dents, scratches, fender benders, and major collisions happen every single day. For a platform like Turo, this presents an existential threat. If resolving these disputes is slow, unfair, or costly, both hosts and renters will abandon the service. The traditional insurance claim process, with its adjusters, paperwork, and weeks of investigation, would be an operational death sentence. Handling thousands of new claims per hour would require a small city of human adjusters, an impossibly expensive and slow proposition. This is where the second pillar of the invisible infrastructure comes into play: the AI adjudicator. It is a sophisticated system of machine learning models designed to do what humans cannot: process, analyze, and resolve the vast majority of insurance claims with superhuman speed and impartiality. It is a system built on the principle of computational trust, where data, not human testimony, is the ultimate arbiter of truth. The entire process begins before the journey even starts. The platform compels both the host and the renter to create a digital snapshot of the vehicle's condition. Using their smartphones, they are guided to take a series of high-resolution photographs of the car from every angle, inside and out. This isn't just a casual photo gallery. The app's software captures a wealth of metadata: the exact time, the date, and the GPS coordinates of where each photo was taken. This creates an immutable, time-stamped record of the car's condition at the precise moment of handover. She said, debate over pre-existing damage is rendered moot before the engine is even started. When a trip ends, the process is repeated. The renter takes a new set of photos from the same angles. Now, the AI has its primary evidence: a before and after dataset. This is when the AI adjudicator goes to work. A powerful computer vision model, trained on a massive library of millions of previous claims and images of vehicle damage, performs a pixel-by-pixel comparison of the two photo sets. It isn't just looking for differences, it is trained to understand them. It can distinguish between a new reflection and a new scratch. It can identify the specific type of damage, a dent, a scuff, a crack, and even classify its severity. Within seconds, the AI can flag a new 3-inch scratch on the rear bumper that wasn't present in the pre-trip photos. But its analysis doesn't stop there. The system then cross-references this finding with other streams of data from the trip. It might look at the telematics data logged by the in-car hardware. Was there a sudden deceleration event recorded near the end of the trip, indicating hard braking or a minor impact? Did the GPS data show the car was in a tight parking garage where scratches are common? This fusion of data creates a comprehensive, objective picture of what happened. The claim is no longer based on a renter's panicked phone call or a host's angry email. It's based on a logical analysis of empirical evidence. Once damage is confirmed, another layer of AI takes over. Using the photos, the system can often identify the specific make, model, and year of the car. It then accesses a colossal database of automotive repair information, cross-referencing the identified damage with typical repair costs for that part on that vehicle, in that specific geographic region. It can generate a remarkably accurate repair estimate in a fraction of a second. This entire automated process, from detecting the damage to estimating the cost of repair, can take place in minutes. A claim that would take a traditional insurance company weeks to process is often resolved before the renter has even left the car's vicinity. For the majority of minor to moderate incidents, a human is never involved. The system automatically facilitates payment from the responsible party to the host, closing the loop with staggering efficiency. Of course, the system has its limits. Complex. Multi-car accidents or claims involving injuries are immediately flagged and escalated to specialized teams of human experts. The AI's job is to handle the 90% of routine cases, freeing up human resources to focus on the 10% that require empathy, nuanced investigation, and complex negotiation. This AI adjudicator is the silent, impartial judge that makes the system fair. It removes emotion and bias from the equation, replacing it with data-driven conclusions. It ensures that hosts are made whole for damage they didn't cause, and renters are only held responsible for what actually happened during their trip. It's a critical piece of the puzzle, allowing the platform to manage the inevitable chaos of a million-car fleet without collapsing under the weight of its own disputes. This AI can settle a fender bender in minutes, but it's designed to handle accidents, not malice. What happens when the person who rented the car isn't just a bad driver, but a bad actor? What protects the entire system from those who want to exploit it for theft, fraud, and organized crime? While hardware can grant access and AI can resolve disputes, neither can look into the heart of a user and gauge their intent. In a system with millions of users, a tiny fraction will inevitably try to break the rules. A single high-end vehicle theft can wipe out the profit from hundreds of successful rentals. At scale, this threat becomes existential. If hosts don't feel their cars are safe, the entire marketplace evaporates. This is the front line of the invisible war, fought by the third and most crucial pillar of the infrastructure: the trust and safety teams, a hybrid of advanced artificial intelligence and elite human oversight. Their work begins long before you even see a list of available cars. The moment you sign up for the service, you become a collection of data points. The platform's risk assessment AI begins to build a profile, a dynamic trust score that is constantly being updated. This AI is not looking at your race, gender, or religion. It's looking at hundreds of behavioral and digital signals. Did you sign up using a disposable email address or a burner phone? That's a red flag. Is your IP address bouncing through a proxy server in another country? Red flag. Did you type your name and address with an unnatural speed, suggesting a copy and paste from a script? The AI analyzes the cadence of your keystrokes, and that too is a red flag. It cross-references the name on your driver's license with the name on your credit card. It uses facial recognition technology to compare your selfie with the photo on your ID, checking for subtle signs of digital alteration or a photo of a photo. Every action you take contributes to your score. A brand new user attempting to book a $90,000 Range Rover for a one-way trip to a city near an international border at 3 a.m. will trigger a cascade of alerts. The system doesn't just see a rental request, it sees a high-risk pattern, a deviation from the norm that requires immediate scrutiny. This is where the human element becomes critical. These high-risk transactions are automatically frozen and escalated to a team of specialists. These are not your typical customer service agents. They are often former law enforcement officers, intelligence analysts, and cybersecurity experts. They are trained to see the patterns of fraud that an algorithm might miss. They might initiate a video call to verify an identity, or ask for additional documentation. But the surveillance doesn't stop once a rental is approved. For vehicles equipped with telematics hardware, the Guardians maintain a silent, watchful eye throughout the trip. The AI establishes a baseline of normal behavior for each rental. If a car booked for a weekend trip around Los Angeles suddenly starts heading east on Interstate 40 at 100 miles per hour and doesn't stop for hours, the system knows this is anomalous. If a high-risk vehicle suddenly goes dark, meaning the GPS signal from the in-car device stops transmitting, it triggers a critical alert. The trust and safety team immediately goes into action. They will try to contact the renter. If there's no response, they will contact the host. If theft is suspected, they coordinate directly with local law enforcement, providing them with the vehicle's last known location and a constant stream of updated tracking data if the signal comes back online. In extreme cases, for some vehicles, they have a kill switch, the ability to remotely and safely disable the car's ignition once it comes to a stop, preventing a thief from restarting the vehicle. This is a proactive, predictive security posture. The goal is not just to recover stolen cars, but to prevent them from ever being taken. It's a constant, high-stakes game of cat and mouse, where the platform's AI and human experts are pitted against the ever-evolving tactics of fraudsters and thieves. This digital fortress, built on data analysis and human expertise, is what allows a car owner in Miami to confidently hand over the virtual keys to their Corvette to a tourist they've never met. They are not just trusting the renter, they are trusting the invisible guardians watching over their asset. So, we return to the paradox. A million cars, a million strangers, all orchestrated through an app on a phone. We asked how such a system could possibly function at scale. The answer, we've seen, is not a single piece of magic, but a carefully woven technological tapestry. It begins with the digital handshake, the proprietary hardware that replaces the physical key, transforming any car into a secure, connected node on a network. It is the universal translator that grants access and begins the chain of data-driven accountability. It is then supported by the AI adjudicator, the impartial, lightning-fast mind that analyzes photographic evidence and telematics data to resolve the inevitable disputes and damages, ensuring fairness and efficiency, where the traditional human-led process would fail. And finally, it is all protected by the digital guardians, the symbiotic force of predictive AI and human experts, who vet every user, monitor every trip, and stand ready to neutralize threats before they materialize, creating a fortress of trust in a world of anonymity. The invisible technology that manages this fleet is a complete ecosystem. It is an architecture designed not to replace trust, but to manufacture it. It uses data to eliminate ambiguity, artificial intelligence to ensure fairness, and constant vigilance to provide security. It proves that with the right infrastructure, the friction and fear of sharing our most valuable possessions can be overcome, turning a world of strangers into a community, one silent, keyless transaction at a time.